What's your message of hope for 2021 and beyond?
Well, the message of hope is, first of all, we must admit and realize the full extent of the harm we've inflicted on this poor old planet. You know, this pandemic that's caused so much suffering, loss of jobs, economic chaos. We brought it on ourselves by our disrespect of animals and the natural world, creating conditions, crowded and stressed animals in wildlife markets, in factory farms, which make it relatively easy for a bacteria to jump from an animal to a person, or in this case, a virus. And that produces a new so-called zoonotic disease. And in fact, we're told 75% of all newly emerging human diseases are zoonotic in origin. So having realized the harm of climate change, the loss of biodiversity, people say to me all the time, do you really have hope? Well, my reasons for hope are quite simple. Back in 1991, I started a program for young people, Roots and Shoots, and it was in response to the fact I was meeting young people all around the world who seemed to have lost hope, who were depressed, who were angry, mostly just apathetic, not seeming to care. And when I talked to them, they all said more or less the same, well, we feel like this because you've compromised our future and there's nothing we can do about it. Well, we have compromised the future of our young people. We've been compromising it, stealing it actually for years and years and years. But is it too late? I firmly believe, and I'm not alone, that we have a window of time. It's not a very big window. If we get together, then we can do something about it. So when the young people said there was nothing they could do about it, I thought, no, that's not right. So Roots and Shoots began with 12 high school students in Tanzania, and they came to talk to me about all kinds of different problems, social, environmental, and what could I do about it? I said, well, I'm not a Tanzanian, you are. Go and find your friends who feel much the same. We had a meeting of about 30 people, and we decided that one, we would call this program Roots and Shoots. Secondly, that the main message was every one of us makes some impact on the planet every day, and we can choose what sort of impact we make. And finally, that each group would choose 3 projects to make the world better, one for people, one for animals, one for the environment, because everything is interrelated. And so from that little beginning, and by the way, it started volunteerism in Tanzania. And it's interesting that all but 2 of that initial 12 were young men. And now I would say definitely there's more women than men in the Roots and Shoots groups. It's kind of fascinating. But anyway, many of these so-called developing countries start off with mostly boys and end up with mostly girls. Funny, isn't it? Anyway, it's now in over 60 countries. We've got members from kindergarten, university, everything in between. And they are changing the world. There's no question. They're my greatest reason for hope. The second reason is this extraordinary intellect. And we haven't always used it wisely, but science is beginning to come up with innovative new technologies, all this renewable energy to help us live in greater harmony with Mother Nature. And we in our individual lives are beginning to think, how can I leave a lighter ecological footprint every day? And then there's the amazing resilience of nature. So places that have been destroyed, give them time and perhaps some help. And once again, nature will return. And they may not quite be the same as before, but they will support nature and biodiversity. And animals on the brink of extinction can be given another chance. And then finally, there's what I call the indomitable human spirit, the people who tackle what seems impossible and won't give up. And very often they succeed. And even if they don't, they will inspire others to carry on until their goal is achieved.